Good Thursday evening. Welcome to the BCP Live. Hi, I am Joey McWilliams, and thanks for watching this presentation from the Bryan County Patriot here, our live stream, what's become a nightly live stream during this time. It is date 9, of not a lockdown, but a shutdown. Again, we are not in a lockdown right now. We are in a shutdown, but I recognize it kind of feels like that a little bit more, and the longer we stay this way. We may talk about that a little bit at the end. In the meantime, right now, however, I want to get straight to tonight's guest, and I'm very, very thankful to have Lesa Curry coming in. And Lesa, I know that we talk about you working with TSET. Your office is at the Bryan County Health Department, and there's so much going on, but let's not bury the lead. Let's get right into it because the big thing is what's going to be happening tomorrow. And I know this is something that folks have been asking about a lot lately, and that is testing, COVID-19 testing for Bryan County. And this is going to be something that has the potential to be really good. It's a drive-through testing. Talk about that and what's going to be happening tomorrow.
That is correct. We are having a free drive-through COVID-19 testing, and I want to reiterate that it is free to all individuals. We currently have 100 test kits for tomorrow, and we'll be testing the first 100 residents that present with 100.4 fever or greater and shortness of breath or cough. The individual must be at least 18 years of age or older, and we will be screening them. We will actually be screening them as they pull in. This is all taking place in the lower level of the Choctaw parking garage at the 4800 block of South 9th Street, just behind the Choctaw Casino. It will be on that lower level due to the weather to keep everyone dry, individuals as well as nurses. And it is from 8:30 to 2 tomorrow or until tests are depleted.
Yeah, the rain is already come in right now, and we've heard a little bit of the thunder getting ready to go on the air tonight, and it's a good decision to move, not necessarily indoors, and that's really was that part of the decision too in the moving that you're going to be sheltered from the rain, but you're not indoor. I mean, this truly is a drive up situation.
That is correct. That way, you're just in your car. No one has to get out. The nurses will be there with their protective equipment. You will pull up Durant Police Department, as well as Durant Emergency Management and Choctaw Nation Emergency Management will all be there to help with traffic flow. And the nurses will be there in their protective equipment. No one has to get out of their vehicle. So it's just service, window service, true drive-through.
True drive-through. I saw it listed like this today: 100-degree temperature will get you one of the 100 tests available. I thought that was an interesting way of saying that, but you actually, and this, how weird does this sound? You actually have to bring a fever to the location to get tested. That's correct.
That is correct. You must be symptomatic. As tests are limited right now, you must be symptomatic to be tested. And testing will continue starting next week by appointment only for symptomatic individuals as well at the Bryan County Health Department. But tomorrow, this drive-through opportunity is available to the first 100 people presenting with symptoms. This is also for one individual per family. So, for example, if you have a husband and wife, the one with most symptomatic, most at risk will be the one testing. So it's one per household as well.
I understand that makes sense. We had Julie Montgomery on the BCP Live, the special edition that was on this afternoon with Senator David Bullard, and three state representatives actually were on that broadcast as well. And it was so nice. Julie did a great job. I know she works with you in your department there. She was talking about curbside service or not curbside service, curbside test. I guess it is curbside service, but
Right.
curbside testing. Is that what you're talking about starting on Monday, and it's by appointment?
Yes, sir. If you're symptomatic, you can contact the Bryan County Health Department here and actually set up an appointment with the nurse, and it will be the same thing. You do not have to leave your vehicle. You will have an appointment, though, and a nurse will come out and test you there if you qualify for the testing.
Now, when you talk about more of these things being available, it's starting next week. So, are there any more drive-through testings in the works, or is it just going to be more like starting with the appointment only testing?
There are drive-through testing as well. The sites are on our Oklahoma State Department of Health website, which is coronavirus.health.ok. And you can go .ok.gov, sorry. And you can go on there, and the testing sites are listed there. So if anyone else is watching this from a different area, you may have a testing site nearby you as well. So, it may be a better location to you. So these are available across the state. There are 9 different areas they were doing these. And then for Bryan County, again, that will be tomorrow for the first 100 people that present with symptoms. And then next week we will be starting the curbside service that you're referring to that y'all spoke of today.
And we can put the link to this in the comments following the broadcast this evening. Of course, this is a live broadcast here, BCP Live, as we get a chance to visit with Lesa Curry. And Lesa, I know curbside testing was something that Julie had mentioned earlier today, but she also talked about rapid testing. Talk about that, and how soon will we be seeing, or do you think that we might be seeing something like that in Bryan County?
Rapid testing is tests that are available that give results in as short as 45 minutes. And this is something that we're hoping to see. Because this is such a rapid and ever evolving situation, if you notice all the updates from not only local, um, our governor locally, but also from the presidential administration, stuff is ever evolving and we're learning something new every day. So I don't know exactly when that will be available, but it will be coming out.
Now, you work in the TSET area of the Bryan County Health Department. I know that's where I've gotten to know you and talk about the things that you have done. With all that's going on right now, um, are you able to? And you mentioned it. I mean, you said it best. It's ever evolving and it changes so much. The news was rapid fire anyway. We live in a 24/7 news cycle nowadays anyway. I didn't know it could go much faster, and that's exactly what it's done. It's done that all the time. But to talk about your job and what you do, are you able to continue doing what you work with generally in TSET, or has this shifted your focus too much?
So I will say I am a public health employee and have been for about 16 years now. And so I work under the Healthy Living grant that is provided by TSET, but I'm actually a Bryan County Health Department employee. And so at this time with this response as public health professionals, we know when we take the position that we are to respond in to emergencies such as this, a pandemic. This is what public health was founded on, and this is what we do as public health professionals. And I actually serve as part of Incident Command as the liaison. And so I am aware that this is what we do as public health. We respond to pandemics such as this. And so while that does take up a lot of my focus and time right now as a public health employee, those partnerships and community members that we've gotten, I've gotten to know you and other businesses and partnerships and schools. So we are using those partnerships to reach out to businesses for resources. We get a lot of questions of what they should do with their employees, questions about stimulus package, and we can refer them to those resources. So whereas normally I focus on providing physical activity, nutrition, and tobacco prevention resources, I've just refocused that energy to provide coronavirus resources. Our website that I mentioned earlier has some great resources on there for a lot of our community partners, to include a guide for childcare providers as well as employers, law enforcement officers, assisted living centers. We have also been reaching out just, because a lot of people forget the health department. I didn't even know until I went to work there. The health department is involved in so many things. And one of those being we have public health specialists that oversee restaurants and food distribution centers. And so we've just been reaching out to those and providing those resources, telling them about emergency food grants and making sure everyone has, taking precautions and wearing gloves when they're preparing those meals and wearing gloves when they're distributing those meals. So we've just kind of refocused our energy to, help our community in a different way.
Well, I just want to say thank you then. I appreciate what you're doing individually and to just say thank you personally, but to all of the folks that are a part of the Bryan County Health Department, you are appreciated. I know that there's so much going on right now, and we wouldn't have time if we made this an hour-long broadcast, I'm sure, to even hit all the things that you all are dealing with, plus the day-to-day stuff that needs to be done as well. So thank you, Lesa, to all of you all. I really appreciate it. It all gets underway tomorrow. Now, what time does it start again? And say that location one more time.
Okay, it is at the lower level of the parking garage behind the Choctaw Nation Casino on the, sorry, that's interrupting again, 4800 block of South 9th Street. And it begins at 8:30 in the morning until all tests are completed or until 2 o'clock.
All right. So there it is, 100 tests that are potentially available. And again, boy, you just don't want to cheer someone to be presenting 100+ degree fever, but that is the requirement. I know it's weird times, just weird times. But anyway, well, Lesa, thank you again for being on tonight. Would it be okay if you stop back by then another night sometime soon? And if there's anything else going on, please let us be able to share that.
I will, and I want to thank you for having me on. And if you don't mind, I just wanted to thank the community partners that are involved in this. We've practiced these events for years. If you've ever been to our flu drives, then we usually practice that as an exercise in response to events such as this. And we couldn't do this without all of our community partners that are helping put this on, which is Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, Choctaw Nation Emergency Management, Bryan County Emergency Management, Bryan County Commissioners, City of Durant Police Department. So I just want to thank everyone for that, and thank you as a community partner for letting us share this with the community and letting everyone know that resource is there so that we can help them and get some testing here in Bryan County.
All right. Well, you are welcome, and thank you again. That's tomorrow morning, so good luck to you all, and we'll be praying for you all to get it all done and get it done well. So, folks, if you're going out there tomorrow, obviously, have a good attitude. Take the good attitude. I know you have to take the fever out there if you're going to be tested, but take the good attitude as well, and let's have a productive day. And we know there's more testing on the way. Thank you very much, Lesa, for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, and we appreciate her for coming in. I've enjoyed getting to know Lesa in the past few years and her work. Of course, working with the healthy living part of it for a while. That's been a big deal. But man, with all that's going on, sometimes, I mean, I didn't think about it as much. I don't know if you have, but I know with the folks that work at the Bryan County Health Department helping so many areas with so many people in town, and now something big like this comes up. But she said, that's what we've been trained for. That's why we work for these things. We prepare, and this is a group of people like so many other groups of people and individuals in this wonderful country in which we live that have been preparing for a while and now are stepping up and making a difference in so many people's lives. So I want to say thanks. Thanks for stopping by, stepping in. Susan, it's good to see you tonight. Actually, one of the shout outs tonight, I do want to give a shout out to Susan at Texoma Engraving. Give a shout out to Jason and the folks at Shamrock Bank, all of our sponsors here for the Bryan County Patriot. Shout out to Rana and the folks at Workout Anytime. I appreciate those guys. We've been putting up the videos, by the way, on the Bryan County Patriot YouTube channel. And actually, I believe it's actually on the website. Their YouTube channel, we're linking them on the website as well. So you don't have to sit around and do nothing. The folks at Workout Anytime are giving you some good ways that you can get some exercise in. Landon at Justice Insurance, appreciate you guys out there. And Debbie at Durant Station, all the folks out there as well. A shout out to you guys. So I really appreciate the help and just the advertising, your sponsorship, and the things that you do help keep the Bryan County Patriot going. So never, ever taken for granted. You are appreciated. I hope you got a chance to watch the special edition, by the way, of the BCP Live this afternoon. It had our special guest host, who was State Senator David Bullard. We had 3 Oklahoma State representatives on the show today as well, along with County Commissioner Ron Boyer. Of course, we talked about Julie Montgomery. We had J.J. Humphrey. We had David Smith. We had, Dustin Roberts. I'm sorry, my very own state representative. Okay, if you're watching, Dustin. But 2 of them were actually on site with me. So anyway, it was nice to have all those state senators. Well, we actually had a call in from United States Senator James Lankford as well. So you can go back and watch that and check it out on the Bryan County Patriot YouTube channel. United States Treasury Secretary Mnuchin today said it's going to be 2 weeks for the direct deposits to start for the relief package money, the stimulus package money, however you want to talk about that, those individual checks that are coming out. He was being questioned by the folks in the national media, the White House press corps, about that and seeing if there had been, they were hearing word that it was going to be 5 months, or somebody was saying something that it was going to be 5 months that it would take to send checks out. And Secretary Mnuchin said specifically that wanted to get it out within 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is when we need to start looking for that direct deposit wise. If you have a direct deposit set up already with the IRS, that's when you need to start looking for these things. If you don't, there will be a web portal set up that you can get your direct deposit information to the IRS for these things. And he said, I'd rather go that way than to send out checks, because that will, of necessity, take a little while longer. All right, we wrap things up tonight. Thanks again for Lesa Curry stepping on. I just wanted to end with this. And looking at the lighting again here, there's just something about this navy blue cloth behind me that is making me glow. I don't know what it is. I feel like there's some kind of special effect going on. That's not the case. Anyway, let me talk to you for just a moment about one of the things I saw today. And we always talk about the fact that we don't want to walk in fear. Somebody had posted on social media, and I have to check out a lot of the things on social media to keep up to speed with this broadcast, as well as other things that are happening. And the social media post talked about the fact that the numbers have been high for people who have tested positive for COVID-19 in our country. But as the number of tests that are administered continues to grow, that number of people who test positive will continue to grow as well. And with that being the case, of course, right now, as of tonight, within the last hour, 242,000 confirmed cases in the United States alone. Oklahoma is now 29th in the country in number of confirmed cases with 879, 22nd in the country with number of people who have died due to complications from the coronavirus. And it was talking about the fact that, yes, with more tests, that of necessity, that number is going to grow. And it's likely to skyrocket. But the post in social media said, don't be alarmed. That's just going to be part of it, that the numbers are going to grow. Don't let fear be your guide. And I saw one of the comments that went along with that post. Yes, be alarmed. Be very alarmed. Let anxiety, or allow your anxiety to keep you at home. And I would take part of that, and I can agree with part of that. I believe that an alarm needs to be sounded when there is an issue like this. We can say, okay, you be alarmed, or allow yourself to receive that alarm, okay? Go ahead. If we're finding out more and more that this is something that it's dangerous and we don't want to be around, then it's okay to let that alarm be sounded. However, I would say that we're not, and we shouldn't allow anxiety to keep us at home. Don't allow anxiety to cause you to do anything. Let wisdom be what keeps you at home. If you want to say, well, this is keeping me at home, let wisdom keep you at home, because you're wise enough to say, I don't want to put myself out in that. Let discretion be what keeps you at home, because you're saying, I don't want to put myself out in that. If this is something that we're asked to do right now, we're asked to do this by way of the federal government, we're asked to do this by way of state government. You're asked, and even the city of Durant, you're asked to stay at home. Out of respect, out of wisdom, allow that to be what keeps you at home. But don't allow fear to be what keeps you at home. We're being asked to do something right now without necessarily giving up our liberties. And you need to keep that in the back of your mind. And again, this is not fear-based. There's wisdom to this. You should keep this in the back of your mind. At what point, then, is what we're doing really giving up liberties? And that needs to be something that you do have in there. But at this point, I don't believe we're giving up liberties to be asked to shelter in place and stay in home. We still get out. We still do our banking. We still go to the grocery store. Maybe we should do so less. And get a little bit more while you're out there if you can. I know there's only so much toilet paper out there, and I saw that there was a fiery wreck on I-20 in Texas yesterday that took out an entire 18-wheeler worth of toilet paper. Somebody's just burning money, I guess, at this point. But we're not to allow anxiety. Don't allow anxiety to keep you at home. I will go in direct contradiction to what that person said. No, don't allow anxiety to keep you at home. Allow wisdom to keep you at home. Don't allow anxiety to have a place in your life. Be wise in what you do. Use discretion in what you do, but don't walk in fear. All right? Thanks a lot to Lesa Curry for being on the show with me tonight. I want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Susan, you are a blessing, and I appreciate you. Thank you for commenting tonight. Haven't seen a comment from Vanessa in a couple nights, so I want to give a shout-out to Vanessa really quickly. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you and all the folks that watch with regularity, with frequency here on the show. We'll be back on again tomorrow night at 9. So in the meantime, I appreciate you. God bless you. Have a great night.